I just washed my hair like right before I came to film. I took a shower and now it's all like, you know, like super flat and it just doesn't want to do anything. Hey guys, so today I'm going to be doing my foundation routine for you guys, including my contour and highlight. I don't really use a foundation for my foundation routine. I do like concealer, corrector, and stuff, and I do contour because my skin is not really that bad where I need to cover it all up with like a full coverage foundation, especially in the warmer months when I just feel like it's melting off my face. I just like to do really light coverage, particularly for my dark circles, because really it's the main problem that I have with my skin. So let's just get started. The first thing that I do is apply a primer, and this one I got from my Ipsy glam bag. This is a Laura Mercier foundation primer, and when I got it in the bag I said I don't really like this, but actually I've grown to like it quite a lot because it really does moisturize your skin. It's a moisturizing primer, and for dry skin it's going to be perfect. It's also really tacky, so I really feel like the products that I apply onto my skin really do stick and cling to it. And just apply this all over the face just like a moisturizer. My other primer that I use is the Tarte Cleanslate. Let me just get it for you. Other primer that I like to use in case you're like maybe oily skin is the Tarte Cleanslate Poreless Primer, which is going to fill in any lines and pores and just really give you like a flawless velvety feel to your skin. The next thing we're going to do is correct those dark circles, and for that you're going to need a peach concealer or corrector, and the one that I use is by Benefit and it's called the Erase Paste. I use shade medium number 2. And it's just a really peachy, creamy, moisturizing concealer. It's my favorite for correcting my dark circles and applying under my eyes because this, you know, portion here can get really dry and creasy, and this one is just like the best corrector that I've ever tried, and I've tried a lot. So you just want to pat that onto your dark circles, just so that it really counteracts that blueness. And in a second I'll show you the difference. So you can immediately see the difference between this side and this side. This side I have that peach corrector on, and that peach tone is going to cancel out the blue because orange is opposite of blue on the color wheel, and that's what you want to do when you're looking to correct any discoloration. You want to look at the colors that are opposite of each other instead of, you know, complementary colors which are going to mix together to create different tones. And this peach corrector really does a trick for me in terms of canceling it out completely and leaving a nice bright under eye area. Next, what I do is apply some concealer, and this one is by Maybelline. It's the Fit Me Concealer, and I use shade 20. This is my favorite holy grail concealer of all time, and it is from the drugstore, so it's relatively affordable and it's just amazing. So what I do is apply it over that peach corrector because you want to cover up the peach tones. And since I don't use foundation, I also go over any other areas where I might be particularly, you know, having problems that day. So for example, around my nose, I apply some here in the inner corner and below the brow. So when I blend it out, it covers up my, you know, dark eyes. And then maybe just a little bit above my lips, but really light. And then just a bit on my chin. So what I do from here is blend it out, and I most often use a beauty blender, but I really don't feel like getting up and washing it, so I'm just going to use a brush. This is the Sigma 3D HD Kabuki brush, and I'm just going to tap that like so. So just tap that and blend it out. And then whatever's left, I just kind of run over my nose just because Sometimes it gets just a little bit red, but you want really little product because you don't want to be highlighting it with that, you know, concealer. Once you blend it out, that's really it. That's all I do for coverage. Now, if you feel like you need foundation, then by all means, please use it. There's days when I do use foundation just because I want to, but on a day-to-day basis, like I said, I don't feel the need to wear foundation because my skin is not really that bad to where I need a full coverage foundation. And even when I do use foundation, I use a medium to light coverage, and I diffuse it with a wet beauty blender just so that it's even lighter. But of course, it's personal preference. And now let's move on to contouring. My favorite palette to contour with is the RCMA Contour and Highlight Palette. This palette is probably the best to be contouring with because there's palettes out there in the market right now which I feel like are too warm to be contouring with, and these shades here are cool toned, which are perfect for contouring and creating that realistic shading and really sculpt the face. So I use a brush like this, and this one is from Crown Brush. And what I'll do is first I will use this lighter shade and just tap it into the color like that. Then I just start really applying it right below the cheekbone and up onto the side of my face. Now for every day, that's all I do. I just use this shade. But for days, you know, when I have a little bit more makeup on my face, like a smoky eye or, you know, like going out makeup, I'll take this Real Techniques contouring brush and then I'll go into that darker shade and just tap it in there a little bit. And really just draw a line from probably like the top of your ear to just right here. You don't want to go anywhere past this. And that's really going to carve out that cheekbone. I don't know if you guys could see. And then just go back with this brush and blend it out. And just like however you like it. And you can immediately see how much slimmer this side of my face look compared to this side, right? Then what I'll do is I'll also take a little bit more of that lighter shade and then contour up here on my forehead. As you guys know, I have quite a bit forehead since I have a widow's peak. And I just apply it to the area where my widow's peak is. Those two little peaks. I also like to contour my jawline because I do have quite a wide jaw. So I take the lighter shade and just carve out this sort of angular part here. Crown brush, and it's number C476. It's a double-ended brush, but I just use that fluffier side. I'm going to go into that lighter shade, and I'm going to draw just a line across my nose, like this, just kind of back and forth. And then two on the side. And I do it kind of angular, like instead of just going straight, I go a little bit below here just to carve out a little bit of that tip because I do have a little bit of a wider nose. And it's wider at the bottom than at the top, so. But if you have a relatively straight nose, you could just do two straight lines. Like that, and then just wipe off whatever's left and then just go back in and soften it to really blend it out. the highlighting shades in here are really, really bright, and they're really going to make your features pop. So what I do is I take this yellow shade here with the smaller end of that brush, and I put it right there. And I do that because I do have a little bit of a bump in my nose, so that dip where that bump ends, if I put this here, it's going to bring it forward, so it's going to kind of even it out. I hope that makes sense. And then I just go across like this with my finger, like that. And then you can see like it looks just a tad bit straighter. Okay, then what I do is take that little pinky shade in the center there, and I put it in the inner corners of my eyes because that pink shade is going to brighten. So I like to put that right in the inner tear duct. Now, because that is a cream contour, I do like to set it with a powder, and the one that I use is Ingla HD Sculpting Powder in number 502, which is a little bit dark for me, but it's the one I have, so I'm going to work with it. I'm going to take an angled brush and just dip it in there lightly, and then just run it over where we applied the cream contour. And this is also a cool shade, and so you want to make sure that everything that you use to contour is a cooler tone because it just works better. Now we need to set our concealer, so what I like to use is the MAC Emphasize powder, and I'm down to the rim there, so I'm going to get a brush and run it right along the edge, trying to get every last bit of this. And then with a dual fiber brush, I'm just going to run it everywhere where we applied concealer. So that's it for my foundation routine, really. And then from here, of course, you do your blush, your eyes, and your lips, and all that good stuff just to top it off. But this is really it. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye.